I'm proud to be a member of the 2020 class of the Matriots, as well as a founding member. Because one of the things we as women have to remember is to put our money where our mouth is. So not only am I a beneficiary of the financing and the programming, but I also contribute back. If we were gathered in person, we would hand you a program with this evening's agenda. Instead, let's take a look at what, and I'd also hand you a glass of wine or your other favorite drink. Let's take a look at what we are going to look at over the next hour. We're going to show you our new sizzle reel, some of the best outtakes from our Zoom meetings this year. We will raise a toast and then hear more about 2020 and what's ahead in 2021. My peers in the class of 2020 will say a few words, and then you get to spend time in smaller groups with each other. Isn't technology wonderful? We can come together and break apart and then come back together again. And then when we return to the larger groups, we'll see who among us knows the most Matriots trivia and end with a pair of women who will leave you inspired and grateful to be a matriot. But I also want to take a moment of personal privilege and talk to you about something that is incredibly important to most of us who are African Americans and want to encourage you to believe in this as well. It's the concept of the North Star.
Mhm.
During slavery, when women like Sojourner Truth and Harriet Tubman wanted to leave the South or wanted to lead other people, Black folks from the South, the North Star was what guided them. And today, if we have our own individual focus on a North Star, a constellation that leads us to do better, even when we have to work under circumstances that we think we're going to lose at, or the chances are higher that we won't be successful. Many of our slave ancestors were not successful. They lost their vision. They were captured and taken back into slavery. But a lot of us succeeded in achieving where the North Star could lead us. And what I want to share with the matriarchs today, and especially to my colleagues who are women of color, is that that North Star still serves us today. And we should never lose our eye on that star that leads us to a better place. That is part of why we are willing to serve today, is because we know that the world is a better place when women of color especially step up to serve. We help make rooms diverse. We help make other people consider issues that weren't part of their repertoire before. And so I urge every member of Matriots to figure out what your North Star is and to keep focused on that North Star, even when times are hard. With that, we go to Shiloh, a video.
The group like the Matriots.
The Matriots.
The Matriots.
Who are the Matriots?
And I think that women have to be heard.
We still don't have enough women in office. We still don't have enough African American women in office, immigrant women in office.
Women are often the driving force behind our schools, community organizations, and businesses. It's time to elect them into positions where they are in the driver's seat to help move our country forward.
And if we are to be successful in this country in any way, we need to have nonpartisan relationships where we're tolerant, civil, and supportive of the differences in America.
Your voice has so much power, so much power. You can't ignore the power of the people. You can't ignore people that show up. And so this group is encouraging women to run for office at all levels.
I'm not a billionaire, but I feel good that the money that I'm able to donate can support an Ohio woman's campaign.
Ultimately, women get things done. Why don't you join us today and become a Matriot?
Wasn't that great? This is one of the advantages of technology. We can create videos from a variety of women all over the state and all over the place, and then join it together. And that was incredibly enjoyable. So it turns out that Matriots has been an incredibly bright spot in 2020 for most of us. And Board Chair Myra Craig is going to say a few words about that. As a member of the Matriots PAC, you've put your money into the Matriots PAC, has put money into 161 women's campaigns. Is that phenomenal? And we've racked up, is it 99 or 100 wins? I think my notes say 99. We need one more.
Right on that precipice.
So, I'd like to welcome Columbus member and matriarch Jane McCrance. Is that right? McCrance. Where's your picture? There you are. To lead us in a toast. Jane, take it away.
Thank you, Cheryl. Here's to the women. I am a matriarch of the Matriots by virtue of my age. And I get to propose the toast. Here's to the Matriots who seek political parity, which leads to equality and justice in Ohio and for all women, and who lead with their courage, their integrity, and their committed service. Here's to women who sought to make a way when there was no way in politics in 1848 with the Seneca Falls Declaration. I can do this, I'm old. And here's to women who paved the way through women's suffrage in 1920, 14 years before I was born. Here's to women making the way today. Making the way today. Our Matriots founders in 2017, and all those who have run hard and well, and those who have been elected to public almost 100 public service. Congratulations and hooray to the 99. You're making a difference even in a pandemic. But we still have a goal. 50% of women in public office in Ohio in 2028. We have good work to do, ladies, and good words to say. Cheers.
Cheers. That was fabulous. I took notes. Political parity and making the way. And look at how far we've come, but how far since 1920 and how far we have to go. So moving next, I want to introduce Marita. Marita Craig is on the Matriots PAC board, and she is from Cincinnati. Marita, you have a few comments for us?
Great.
And to help us look forward into the future.
Thanks, Cheryl. And thanks, Jane. Wow. As Cheryl said, I'm Rita Craig, and isn't it great to be here? I'm already inspired, and we're only a few minutes in. So thank you all for joining us tonight. Since August, I've been the chair of the PAC board of the Matriots. I live in Cincinnati, located in Hamilton County. Now, you've already heard that the Matriots, and seen in the video, the Matriots love data. So I'm going to share some data with you as we talk about our achievements in 2020 and look to 2021. So my first data point is about Hamilton County, my home county, and the Matriots research recently indicated that Hamilton County has the highest percentage of women in public office at 39%. So that's exciting. And we're certainly proud of that fact. But it also reminds us that at 39%, to get to 50%, there's still a gap we need to close. And closing that gap is why I am committed to the work of the Matriots. The state as a whole is getting closer to equity. The Matriots this year delivered a 56% win rate with 35 of our endorsed candidates elected to office. If you count the votes of our elected candidates, we got over 7.2 million votes in total. I think that's a wonderful data point to celebrate for our candidates. So here's another number, 31.8%. That's the percentage of women now serving in the Ohio General Assembly starting in 2021. Let's put this number in perspective. When the Matriots founders got off the bus from the Women's March in 2017, that number was 22%. With your membership investment and the help and collaboration of partners across the state who are recruiting and training women to run for office, the needle has moved nearly 10 points in 3 years. So thank you, thank you, thank you for saying yes to taking action to get more women elected and to grow our funds to invest in female candidates. Because as a PAC, let me just remind you of our two main functions. We raise money and we endorse candidates. When we exited 2019, we had 1,275 members, which was awesome. Today, we have 1,687 women and men in 46 counties and other states who are investing in the mission of the Matriots. I want to say a warm welcome to those members who joined us in July of 2017 when the first dollar of the Matriots was raised. And an equally warm welcome to those who joined yesterday, or those of you that plan on joining today or asking others to join. Together, we will build this hive and transform Ohio by remaking those tables of power. Another special shout out to 20% of our members who renewed this year and who are giving more in 2020 than they did in 2019. I just want to remind everyone, when you invest deeply in the Matriots, we can invest deeply in our candidates. So before I introduce our candidates, I want to share with you a little bit about the focus for 2021. We have incredible momentum right now, both in terms of the women that we have helped elect to office and the number of members across the state. The momentum is supported by our growing infrastructure and our staff, anchored by key volunteers who are working in your local communities. And we're going to do more of that next year. With you, our volunteers, helping to tend and build our hives throughout Ohio, we will be more visible and engaged in communities across Ohio, Northwest Ohio, Northeast Ohio, Southeast Ohio, and in my home territory, Southwest Ohio. So many of you are already volunteered and engaged in the Matriots, and we hope that there will be more joining us in 2021. Basically, we are relentless about achieving what it really takes to get more women elected to public office to help reach our bold goal of 50% women in public office in Ohio by 2028. So here's our metrics for 2021, our goals. We want to review over 230 candidates. So those would be candidates seeking endorsements in local races from the Matriots. We hope to endorse close to 200 candidates. Our win rate hopefully will be, fingers crossed, 58% or more, and we want to raise $1 million or more. And as the new year approaches, I look forward with your help to getting back to work on our singular mission, elect more women to office in Ohio. Like we say, and like we know, when women lead, Ohio prospers. So now let's hear from our candidates. We have two members of our Matriots 2020 class who will be sharing their experiences with us. So as we've talked about, the Matriots exist to lift up women running for office, regardless of party, helping candidates with money, but also with the networks and a platform to inspire others. Christian Johnson, our first candidate, first Matriots endorsed candidate, I can't believe, I hope I'm reading this right. She just turned 30 years old over Thanksgiving, and she spent, 30 years old, that's incredible. so young and doing so many amazing things. But anyway, she spent many months running for Ohio Senate District 20 in Southeast Ohio. Christian inspired so many in her district as she canvassed and met voters, many of whom told her they'd never been listened to before, and never had really been truly represented. Christian is still inspiring people, me included, post-election, even though her race was not successful to serve this time. But Christian, we want to see you running again in the future. So now Christian will share some comments with us about her experiences.
Well, thank you so much. That was very nice. We don't get nice introductions too often. We typically have to introduce ourselves. So thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much to the Matriots for having me here this evening. I am also a like mentioned, I am a 2020 endorsed Matriots candidate. And yes, my name is Christian Johnson, and I just ran for the Ohio State Senate seat in District 20, which is Southeastern Ohio. Um, yes, unfortunately, I did not win the seat. But like I so candidly have said all throughout my campaign, and even to this day, a win was not defined by sitting in a seat. A win was defined every single day that I ran this race. And that was inspired so much by the people that I met. That was inspired just by my why. My why was fueled every single day by why am I doing this? And that was to give voices to the voiceless and to make sure that I provided a platform and a stage for so many people who have been forgotten so long. And at the end of the day, although the votes did not equate to a seat in the Senate, in the House, I am so fulfilled by the fact that I did something that not many people take the challenge to do, but that I did inspire so many people. So thank you so much for that introduction. I did write something that I hope will inspire all of you. If you are already a Matriots candidate or endorsed candidate, if you are looking to be a part of the Matriots of any kind, I hope that what I wrote just really inspires to keep going and to make sure that this great organization empowers women like me. Um, I am proud to represent everything that the Matriots believe. We unfortunately live in a country where women are undervalued, yes, most valuable, underrepresented in legislative and power positions, but most represented in areas where everyday decisions are made. These discrepancies are especially true for the women of color. It is okay for us to birth a child, but not okay for us to choose not to. We, women, are the heartbeat of everything that happens in our state and our nation. The Matriots believe women should have a say and a seat in places where decisions are made that directly affect women's lives. I am a young woman of color who ran for office to hold one of these seats, to make space for women like me in those rooms where decisions are made. Women add value to the conversation. Without our voices, a critical perspective is lost. I am thankful for the exposure this process has given me, the resources the Matriots have provided throughout this process, and I thoroughly look forward to effectively aiding them and helping elect more women into office. We deserve to be here, and we will not stop until we get more women in the House. So again, thank you so much for just giving me this platform and allowing me to just share this space with so many wonderful women. Just looking forward to just continuing to be a part of this process. Again, my name is Christian Johnson. Please, if you have any questions, I always make myself available. This process is not easy. Not being a woman, not being a Black woman, not being in a super gerrymandered area where I ran, but that should not stop us. We have to continue to define our why every single day. And when your why is defined every single day, there's no number that can't tell you that you did not win. So I did not lose this race. I won. The people in Southeastern Ohio won. Ohio won as a whole, and we will continue to win. So thank you all so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, let's hear it for Christian. And you absolutely are.
Yay!
And you know, we are so proud to have endorsed you, Christian, and hope that you will continue to strive for elected office in Ohio, because we need you. We need you at the table. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your inspiration. And now our next Matriots endorsed candidate from 2020 is Monique Smith. Now, I'm not from Northeast Ohio. You heard I'm from Southwest Ohio, but I can tell you, we've heard about Monique in Southwest Ohio. Everybody loves Monique Smith. She beat the two-term incumbent to represent Cleveland's West Side, running on a platform of service, common sense gun legislation, and access to health care for women. Please join me in welcoming the incoming representative for Ohio House District 16, Monique Smith.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My name is Monique. I am up here in Cuyahoga County representing, I'm the now state representative-elect for the 5 western suburban cities of Westlake, Bay Village, Rocky River, North Olmsted, and Fairview Park, just outside of Cleveland. And this is an area that for a long time was assumed to be pretty solidly conservative, and what that meant was that you know, a candidate like me wasn't supposed to have a chance. But we've seen a change, particularly among women and a number of suburban women, in terms of what I believe is a rejection of some of the extremism and nastiness that has taken over politics at the national level, at the federal level, and just all throughout our political culture. And so I saw an opportunity in this district to push back and challenge the person who was representing this district, because I didn't feel that his votes were representing me as a woman, and as someone who has a certain set of values that do reflect the desire for bodily autonomy, for women to have a voice in what's going on in our policies and our laws. And unfortunately, in Ohio, we have seen a trend towards some very anti-woman healthcare legislation. And for me, even though that is a very hot button topic, and I live in a district that folks thought probably would be uncomfortable with that topic, I decided that I knew my district better than my state rep did, and I was willing to take a gamble on running on that knowledge of my district. That the idea that the people that I know, the people who are in my extended family, the people who my husband and I have lived among for so many years, and who we've worked with as colleagues, we know these people extremely well. We know their values. We know that they respect freedom and privacy. And I knew that they would have an open mind toward a candidate like me. So by being involved in the community for years, I am a former city councilwoman from just the next House district over. You know, I've been involved in politics since 2004 as just a volunteer. I did run that election where I ran for city council and served for 4 years. But for me, this has been a very long journey of service. And I have, sorry, I was afraid that I got cut off there. But I was afraid that, you know, our country and our state were going in the wrong direction. And I knew that because I had spent so much time volunteering for other campaigns and other candidates, that I had developed a skill set that could be used to take advantage of this opportunity and this political moment that has been so shaped by women here in Ohio. So I'm extremely proud that it all worked out. I want to say that I went through an extremely tough primary, and if it weren't for Matriots, I would have run out of money and not been able to make it through the primary. So when people ask me what Matriots meant to me, I say that they were a game changer, and that's not an exaggeration. There was truly a day in the primary, of that very hard fought primary, which I won with 70% of the vote. And I knew I could win, but I needed some resources. And there was one day when the bank account went down to 0, and I called Matriots and I said, you just endorsed me, right? Is there a check in the mail? And it meant everything. It meant the difference between being able to buy just a few yard signs or truly enough yard signs to be visible in the race. It meant the difference between being able to send out mail to a few people in the district versus as many people as we really needed to make a difference. And so that was a really very real and tangible way that Matriots absolutely kept my campaign going. And I'm extremely grateful for the support I've received from Matriots, and very proud to be in the class of 2020. So thank you for allowing me to be here, and thank you for the endorsement and support.
We're absolutely thrilled with your campaign and your victory and your support of other candidates. And we look forward to your incredible leadership in the elected role that you recently won. So I think that I am now turning this over to someone that's going to get us into breakout rooms. How is that going to work? But thank you all for being here, and thanks for, I think we'll reconvene after the breakout sessions. Thanks for being a Matriot. You are making a difference in Ohio, and we've only just begun. So thanks so much.
Back to Cheryl Stevens.
So while we were on the phone, I'm already texting Marsha Fudge. So we know that being a member of Matriots is so incredibly important. It's not just helping elect more women to office. It is the sense that we belong in every single room where policy and discussions and change to the quality of lives we live can be made. This is an organization of shared values. So, anyone you meet at a Matriots event, like this Zoom meeting, or in our in-person meetings, when things get back to what we thought was normal, but we'll have a new normal, is that all of us have something in common. We want to see women succeed. We want to see the quality of our lives be even more enriched. In pre-COVID times, we would start an event like this with the mixing and the mingling, and you walk around the room and talk to other members and candidates, and maybe you brought a friend with you and you introduce them to a few people and try and encourage somebody who's thinking about running to actually do more than put her toe in the water, asking her to step up to the plate and talk about how she raises money. For the next 15 minutes, we hope to recreate that in a digital world. So there are no hors d'oeuvres, and there's no additional wine or a different bottle of wine than the one you're serving yourself. So we're going to divide up into Zoom rooms. Through the magic of technology, we're going to send you off now to these separate rooms, divided by region, so you can network with people who are potentially your neighbors, or you're just driving across your county or the next one to interact. You'll see a button pop up asking you to okay the move from the Zoom room. When you see that, click yes. If you get booted out, just go back to your email and use the Zoom link to join us again, and we'll reunite you with your group. So each room has a facilitator to keep the conversation going. So introverts, don't fear that you'll be stuck in a room with a bunch of other introverts. And I promise not to talk all through the group that you guys send me to. So now it's Zoom to your room time. And in a minute,
Okay, we apparently were the good group who followed the orders and came back. So I don't know, since it's still us, any other thoughts? Brigham, they were responding to what the Matriots might be able to do in 2021. And we had a great recommendation about coming up with some common sense policies, initiatives, some foundational principles that all could support and rally around as individual candidates and as an organization.
Oh yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yes.
I'll have to get in touch with you all after to hear more of that.
Well, I hope everybody had good group conversations.
Wonderful. Really nice. It's too bad they couldn't have been longer.
I know, you got
Too short, not enough time.
It goes by so fast.
Okay.
We'll all rush back to Matriots rooms when we can do that in person again, right? For sure. Did we get Cheryl Stevens successfully back from?
Yeah, here I am.
Ah, hello.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Excellent. So we have an amazing mother and daughter team who want to talk to us tonight. They are going to play a game for fabulous prizes. Let's see, it's Shiloh that's going to take us to the next stage. Shiloh?
Yep. Fabulous prizes. I have a ton of memorabilia that I'm ready to give out, but you have to prove your Matriots knowledge, okay? So the first step in our very short trivia game here tonight, 4 questions, 4 chances to win. You need to open your chat box because whoever responds with the right answer first is going to be the one who gets some bee-related stuff in your mailbox next week, all right? So open your chat box. I'm gonna ask the question and then I'm gonna count down from 5 and you type in your answer, but don't hit return until I get to 1, because then we all have a fair chance, all right? So type your answer, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then hit enter on 1. First one wins the prize. Got it? Here we go. First question. How many women on a percentage basis will be serving in the Ohio State House come January? Type your answer, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, Tavia and Natasha went too fast. So the first correct one following the rules is Kaylee Padova, 31.8%. Great job. So type your answer. Yeah, Tavia. Representative Golonsky. So type your answer. Don't hit return until you get to 1. All right. Question number 2. What is the mascot of the Matriots PAC? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Had a couple cheaters there again.
No jumping the gun. That's unfair.
I win.
Andy Riley and the first 2 have played the game correctly with the right answer. Thank you.
I want the
All right.
stuff. I want the stuff.
Stuff. Come on.
2 more questions.
Me
2 more
too.
chances
I want
to
this
win,
stuff.
and then we will hear from our wrap-up team. Name a Matriots endorsed candidate in the class of 2025. 4, 3, 2, 1. Who said Erica Crawley? Cheryl
won.
Beckerly gets a prize. All right, fantastic. One more. Here we go. How many total wins in 3 years has the Matriots racked up since its inception? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay,
I know I had to win that.
That is Carolyn Rice. Fantastic. All right, we got a bunch of winners. We'll send you some cool stuff.
Shiloh, I would like whoever said a gazillion to get an honorable mention of some sort.
Honorable mention prize to Jackie Davis.
They should. They should. Yep.
Yes. All right. So prizes, bragging rights to our winners. I don't know about you, but I think the last 45 minutes have been a balm for some of the heartbreak and setbacks of 2020 in the world, in our health, in our families, in our ability to be in fellowship with each other. Thank you to Cheryl Stevens for performing our MC duties so ably. As we bid you goodnight, I want to give the final word to two Matriots members, a candidate from our class of 2019 and her mother. For me, I'll sign off by saying, have a wonderful holiday, and I'll ask Ruth and Meredith to take us out.
Thank you, Shiloh. Mom, are you there?
She was a minute ago.
Okay, I had her pinned, but anyway, I'm Meredith Lawson Rowe, a member of the Matriots class of 2019. And I'd like to recognize two of my council colleagues. I think I saw Councilwoman Shawnette Strickland and Councilwoman Kristen Bryant. So I wouldn't be here without serving and running along with them. And you may have remembered me in some of the Matriots rooms with my little catchy phrase, row, row, row your vote.
Oh, and I'm Ruth Lawson. I'm the mother of Meredith, and I live in Springfield, and I'm a founding member of the Matriots PAC. I learned about the Matriots when Meredith was running for office. I'm a member of the Wilberforce chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and that sort of speaks for my life. It's a service organization, and my life has been about community service and civic engagement. And then when Meredith made the decision to affiliate with the sorority when she was in college for some of the same reasons, I was really happy that she chose to become a member of the sorority. She had been active in her community as a volunteer in so many people's campaigns, and then she decided that she was going to run herself. And her first time out, she was one of 3 Black women elected to the Reynoldsburg City Council. And of course, Mama Bear was very, very, very proud. I don't have to tell you about being a proud mama. But I learned about the Matriots when they endorsed Meredith. I had heard about them from a young man who was a campaign worker in Clark County. And he told me about Meredith being endorsed by the Matriots. Well, naturally, I had to find out more. And so I decided to go to one of the events that Matriots sponsored. And I tell you, it was so exciting to hear all of these young, middle age and so forth women who were just excited about serving their communities. And so I said, I have to really join this. Meredith told me, and she announced to the people that were present at one of the meetings that the Matriots had given her more money than anybody without her DNA, which is kind of clever. But what I like about the Matriots is that, you know, they work hard to get women involved in politics, to run for office, to make a difference in their communities, to make a difference in the world. And they don't have an issue with race or ethnicity or political status or economic status. They just want to support the best women for the job. And one thing for sure, I know that I will continue investing in this organization, and I'll continue to encourage more women to run for office. It's back to you, Meredith.
And everyone knows how much of a strong affinity I have with the Matriots and the organization and the women that I've met along this journey. And I'm so proud to be a Matriot, both an endorsed candidate of 2019 and a member. And I know the power of these Matriots rooms and networks, as well as their financial support. As my mom shared, being a first-time candidate and not having the name recognitions of many women leaders and political powerhouses that I look up to made this Matriot platform so valuable to me. And being included in a room of like-minded political women is invaluable. The energy, the intelligence, and just the level of engagements in these rooms. And just as we've been reminded tonight, it just fills each of us up with warm fuzzies. And, you know, we all need to be filled up with warm fuzzies to put lipstick on and jewelry is just a little something to make you feel good during this pandemic. So before throwing my hat into the political ring, I did not think I was a political person. And I've always shared, I have always been the support person. I like to call myself the behind the scenes girl. And so being encouraged to run several times by my council colleague, Kristen Bryant, she asked me several times, and we all hear when women are asked to run, you have to ask them 7 times. And I think she asked me about 15 or so. And then she began working on my husband to get me to run. So being encouraged to run, I had to like turn off that negative Nelly in my mind. And I don't know if you can see my shirt. It says electable. I had to tell myself electable. I didn't believe that I was electable. My family and friends encouraged me. The Matriots believed that I was electable. They were one of my first endorsements. And so I said, well, I'm not a political person. And it was explained to me that we all are political. We pay taxes, more than $750. We have children and grandchildren like me that are in school. And if you don't have children or grandchildren, you have children in your world, in your neighborhood that you're concerned about in public school. And I need healthcare. We all need healthcare. So why not me? I add as much value to those that have been in politics. I add as much value as they do. So what does all of this mean? Becoming a Matriot members mean you are committed to a winning team. And I love what Christian said. The numbers will not say that I'm a winner. We won't let numbers define us. So you're committed to a winning team. Win or lose, not having the seat has nothing to do with it. And we are chipping away at that bold goal of 50% of Ohio political offices being held by women by 2028. And the beauty of membership is you are a part of a winning team, a team collectively working to identify talent and nurturing that talent on the bench, like Miss Christian Johnson. That's what we're here to celebrate tonight. That's why we continue to do this together in 2021 and beyond. And I can't wait to get out there and work with each of you.
Amen. So I just want to say also that I really appreciate you, Cheryl. You're an inspiration to all of us tonight, although I can't vote for you. But the thing I love about the Matriots is that I can be on your team. And I know you through our statewide investment in candidates like you and the dozens of others who are on tonight's Zoom. So I have the pleasure of thanking all of you for being with us tonight to toast, although I don't have a toast, but I want you to toast our success, putting more women in office in Ohio.
So I would say, Ruth Lawson, all of us want a mom like you who's out there supporting us and convincing everyone to vote for their child or a candidate like all of us. Thank you so much for being a good, supportive mom. Is that it for tonight, Shiloh?
It is.
Marita?
Thank you, everybody, for being here. We'll send you out on that cool slideshow of all of the faces of our class of 2020. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.
Bye, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Good night. What a great night, everyone. Nice
Good night.
to see
Happy
everyone.
holidays. I enjoyed
Happy
speaking
holidays.
with all of you. People, ladies that are still on here, I have a question. If anyone cares to maybe chime in. So I'm thinking about becoming a member.
Yay.
So I was looking at the different levels of membership. So just as someone starting out, do people typically, what level do they start at? Or does it just depend on, you know, how?
It really depends on you. I mean, my daughter, who's a sophomore in college, she's a student member, and I'm so glad to have her as a student member. Do I hope that, you know, that membership increases once she graduates and has a job? Absolutely. And then we have some of our members are all in. You know, the max you can give to the PAC is $13,292, and then anything in between. So it's really what you feel you want to do. And if you're just, you know, meeting us, if you want to talk, you want to have a phone call and just kind of talk about that, we'd be happy to do that.
Yeah, I would love that.
And I'm the chair of the membership committee. So if I can help co-chair, just Valerie Lemmy, please just let me know, and we'd be glad to chat with you as well.
Yes, I would love that. How would I be able to reach you, ladies?
If you want to send, actually, we have your email, and it's
Yes.
Is it Tania or Tania?
Tania, yes.
Tania, you'll hear from us.
All right.
And thank you for joining.
Absolutely.
And thank you for raising the question. It's important. We heard that, so thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Bye-bye now. Have a good evening.
Bye. Did Tanisha get off?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad she was
Have
inspired.
a safe holiday and stay well.
Thank you. You do the same.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ruth? Oh, she's gone. Okay. Reem Subi, Reem, are you on? Have you been in and out all night? I think you were unable to join earlier. Is that correct?
I was actually in depositions, and then I had a city council meeting. So I just joined successfully. Thank you.
So Reem, part of the reason we ask is that we had a bit of a snafu, and a certain number of our members were not able to join us tonight. They were unable to get in. So when I let you in just before we were ending, I just wanted to apologize to you on the off chance it was absolutely our fault.
I'm the one who should apologize to you for being late.
No,
but I
it's
blame
so
work.
good to see you. So good to see you. So we're going to be posting this on YouTube, and we'll send everyone the link to that so you can see some of what was said.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone.